Hey, it's Eric here at Peachtree Classic Cars with my brother-in-law in the 1964 Ford F100 short bed truck, style side truck. We're going to take it for a drive. A little bit chilly here this morning, so she's still pretty much fired right up. Really good, good running. I like the way this engine sounds. So it's a 302.
It's a 302. It's got a pretty good sized cam in it. The
Speedometer. Speedometer looks like it might be a little fast.
It is.
Do any of the other gauges work?
Yes, the temperature gauge works and the oil pressure gauge works. Good brakes. Completely new brake system on the front with a. I think it's a 3-inch drop axle on the front, or 2-inch on the front, and 3-inch on the back. But the front was done properly. It's got an actual drop axle, new kingpin bushings, new brake assembly. I think all of the tie rod ends and stuff are new. It's got a little more play in the steering wheel than I particularly like, but it's typical for a 64.
Yeah, typical old truck.
Yeah. But I mean, you can see we're driving at speed, and I'm not having to really fight it. I mean, it still drives good. I've driven this thing at 60 miles per hour that I thought was 60 anyway, and
it drives nice and straight down the road.
You wouldn't want to put a brand new driver in this thing, teaching them how to drive in it. But on the same note, you could, somebody that's got some experience with these older trucks could do really good. That's just a bump in the road there, Lynn. All the turn signals work.
It's comfortable.
Brake lights work.
Yeah, so the previous owner had some style. There's a couple little things, a couple little extra things that once we'll pull over here at this church and I'll get out and show you around the truck. This is a super cool little shop truck, really. Yeah, it steers nice.
Yeah, it does.
For an old truck,
Yeah. Pull in the shade or
That's perfect, yeah. Actually, the exhaust sounds nice. Give it a little rev. A little bit of a squeak there. Probably just a belt, huh?
It was, because I just put a brand new belt on this thing.
Oh, okay.
And I probably over tightened it.
Looks really nice. I love those classic Mickey Thompson. Those are actually old classic Mickey Thompson valve covers that have been redone. Really nice, clean engine detail. I'm gonna shut it off. So yeah, it's got a brand new belt. So like you said, it probably just needs to be adjusted a little, just that tiny little squeak. But I really like this engine detail. It's nice, solid inner fender wells, and just an old Ford sticker here. Really clean under the hood. Firewall looks good. Inside the hood, a couple of little spots here and there. But this is going, consistent with the rest of the way the truck looks. 4-core aluminum radiator, looks like.
The safety latch has to be in line pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, so here, let's back up and take a look at the whole truck. This thing's, oops.
I get it.
I didn't, you got it? Yeah. I didn't push it all the way.
Yeah, you just have to.
Man, this thing is so cool. My shadow's in the way. It's in the morning here. A little cold Georgia morning, but what a cool truck. I mean, love the white wall tires. Really nice, clean, good tread. Those look like old bias ply tires. They look awesome. Baby moons in the middle with a little ring cap on them. Body on this thing overall that I've seen is pretty straight. Of course, it's got this patina paint job. You get close up to it, you get the cracks and all in it, and man, I mean, I mean, everybody can do whatever they want to with an old truck or an old car, but to me, this one's done. I really, really like the way this looks. It's got, you know, really, I think this was basically like Grandpa's shop truck, and that's what he built it to be. Little Coke holder, you know, Coke bottle opener in the back, a couple little things like this, Route 66. Really old tongue and groove hardwood flooring, actually, that's been put in the back. I think it looks awesome. I thought about maybe, we had talked about hitting this with a sander and then recoating it. He'd even talked about pulling it out and just putting a different bed in, but you know, it just goes with the look. So this J&B garage on the side, you know, that's a really easy thing to change off, customize, put your own logo on, or you know, I've had a lot of vehicles like this before where we, you know, just needed to change that. It's kind of funny, it's got these old custom cab grab handles, which I love. It says "Love a Girl" over here on the door. He had put that on there for his wife, and over here his nickname, Cat Daddy. I think that was kind of funny. So doors open and close fine. The window felts are a little bit older, so you can hear that rattle, but nice and solid. Doors look good. Bottom of the door, nice and solid. Hinge pockets are solid. Step ups. Very minimal rust truck. There's a couple little spots underneath. I'll show you in a second. He was actually telling me this little dial here, that the guy had built this because his old granddaddy was a moonshiner, and supposedly he thought if he was getting pulled over, he could turn the knob and dump all the moonshine out. And so that, not in this truck, that was this in his supposedly moonshine days back in the old days. So he put that in that little that little knob on there for just to be fun, for memory's sake. No radio in it. Headliner, you can actually order these headliners on LMC. They're only about $100 or so, and install them in the garage. So seats in good shape. It's an older, you know, older vinyl, but there's no rips or tears. Looks like you put a newer gas tank back, or the original gas tank. No, looks like original gas tank placement, but this looks like a new gas tank that somebody put in not too long ago. These original cab corners underneath, never been patched, look great. Step sides, I mean, this is really actually super solid truck. Frame rails are all good. One tiny little hole there, but these floor pans are so solid. Cab mounts, frame to cab mounts are in good shape for being original. And you can see some shiny new bolts in here, like he said, new kingpins and bushings have been done and all that. Cross members rust free. I mean, surface rust here and there, but actually so far not seeing any rust worth mentioning, honestly. Really solid back here as well. I think these old bias ply tires have great tread on them. All four match. I'm actually really impressed with how this truck looks underneath. I mean, again, on this side, original step rails, cab corners. This is a big deal to me. There's two tiny little holes, barely worth mentioning. To see these weep holes back in the back and for the cab corners to be this solid in a truck like this is rare. Again, cab to frame mounts are in great shape. Everything looks good. A little bit of rust in the very back of the, if you look, you have to kind of look for it way up in there in the very back. Just a couple of little spots in that typical, those are typical spots for the back of these Ford trucks, but that's actually still got a pretty solid wood bed under it. Of course they put that other, solid original steel bed, and of course they put that wood bed on top. But if you really wanted to be a purist, I think you could take that wood bed out, and from I'm saying this, gauging from what it looks like underneath the truck right now, I think you could probably refurbish the original steel bed if that was important to you. So that's just how good a shape the truck's in. One little spot right there you can see had a tiny little rust hole, just got a little filler. And geez, I mean, this thing is it's a really solid truck. The thing I like about this too is, I mean, it's ready to drive. The brakes have been done. V8 automatic, and inside these fender wells looks awesome. I mean, super minimal rust truck. This thing is solid. So windows roll up and down easily. I mean, this thing's, she's ready to drive just like it is. Great Christmas colors. Like I said too, a couple things. If you're not into the door, that's an easy thing. The vinyl shop can, I've got my vinyl shop guys have covered up stuff like that for me and made it look old school and original. You couldn't even tell. It's super easy to touch up paint, kind of to, you know, do something with that. But awesome opportunity. This is one of those trucks where I'm like, if this was my truck, I don't know that I'd do much, but just drive it. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot. I like my tunes, so I'd probably put a radio in it. But other than that, I just drive this thing. To me, it's ready to drive. It does have scratches, especially over the passenger side and the windshield. I've heard of people trying to polish those out, but the reality is, if you want to fix that, you probably need to put in a new windshield and weather stripping. But that being said, it doesn't leak. Looks good. To me, it goes with the patina of the truck, you know, and the driver's side's not bad. So anyways, give us a call. Our phone number's on the ad at peachtreeclassiccars.com. I expect this truck won't last long. The last couple trucks we've been putting up for sale, honestly, been selling in a day or two. So we're trying to keep the prices fair, even though the market's gotten a little crazy, and still trying to pass on good deals. So my brother-in-law's, I think, got a great price on this truck, and gonna make somebody real happy Christmas present. So we look forward to hearing from you. Give us a call. We're at peachtreeclassiccars.com.